eventually Donald Trump's term as president will over, and he will be somewhat fade out of the headlines. I think that will take some steam, some pressure off the political environment. But I don't think you're going to have like a turning point that's really going to change this trajectory.
Welcome to The Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering and where the story's going next. I'm Sarah Bedford, and I'm here with commentary editor Conn Carroll. And Conn, obviously after the tragic assassination of Charlie Kirk this past week, in this immediate aftermath, we've seen a lot of calls for unity, for coming together from political leaders, especially Democrats. But the Washington Examiner wrote an editorial that this is not exactly a moment to shy away from the role that the left specifically has played in this.
Right. I don't think you can look at what happened to Charlie Kirk here as an isolated incident, and I don't think you can both sides it. I think this is clearly a larger established pattern of violence by the left that unfortunately Charlie Kirk's assassination is the latest evidence of. Just look at the President of the United States. He had not one but two assassination attempts on the president. Then you had the healthcare executive killed in New York City by Luigi Mangione. This is a violent killing that the left largely celebrated. You had late night talk shows hosts go and make jokes about this. You had Elizabeth Warren saying, maybe he's got enough point, right? This is not an outright combination of an assassination in broad daylight. But the violence goes on. You have the burning of Teslas to protest Elon Musk. You have the firebombing of a pro-Israel demonstration in Boulder, Colorado. You have the assassination attempt. You have a 10-person conspiracy to shoot and try to kill ICE agents in Texas. These are all examples of left-wing violence targeting conservative movement, conservative areas, and it comes after language particularly among Democrats that just constantly demonizes Republicans and Republican officials.
You already have calls from some of the media, from Democrats, for President Donald Trump to be the one to de-escalate and to lower the temperature, right? How do you sort of square those calls for the right, which is, as you have pointed out, largely the victims of this pattern of violence, to de-escalate when, Donald Trump and the right now have this brief hold on power that might not last more than a year? They only have a brief window to do something to combat this. So how do you square the tension between the calls to de-escalate with perhaps the need for the right to do the opposite?
Well, I just think Democrats need to get a grip on reality, okay? You have Vice President Kamala Harris, while campaigning, actually called Trump, a fascist, right? Tim Walz, same thing. You have Chuck Schumer saying the Supreme Court's going to reap the whirlwind, right? You have so many actual Democratic office holders. Gavin Newsom has called them fascist. Pritzker has called them fascist, right? If you keep calling Republicans who their only crime is supporting Donald Trump and enforcing our nation's immigration laws, if you call all of those people fascists, then eventually some of your supporters are going to do what people should do with fascists, which is fight back, right? So the line from Democratic elected officials calling Trump and the Republican movement fascists to people taking up arms and then using violence to combat fascists, to me that's just a straight line.
I was talking with our mutual friend, Emily Jashinsky, last night, and she said something that has kind of stuck with me. She said she always thought the name Turning Point, which was Charlie Kirk's organization, was kind of hokey. And now she says she believes it's providential because his murder could well be a turning point for this country. But turning to what? What comes next,
Yeah, I'm scared because I don't see a world where it would be great. It would be great if after this tragedy, Democrats, came to reality and said, look, we oppose what the Republicans are doing in a lot of areas, but Trump is not actually Hitler. The Republican Party are not actually Nazis. We disagree with them, and we can, like Charlie Kirk, go and debate them and talk to them and treat them like human beings. But we really should stop talking about war and fire with fire and trying to demonize them in that way. That would be great. I just don't think that's going to happen.
So what do you think is going to happen? Your cynical, your sort of black-pilled worldview, what does happen next?
I think we keep going down this path that unfortunately, we've been on for a while. I think eventually, hopefully, no, not eventually, Donald Trump's term as president will over, and he will be somewhat fade out of the headlines. I think that will take some steam, some pressure off the political environment. But I don't think you're going to have like a turning point that's really going to change this trajectory.
Okay, well, that is a bummer. Super depressing.
Sorry.
Well, Conn, thank you so much for being here today. You can get more from Conn and the rest of the commentary team at WashingtonExaminer.com.